Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to tell you how to fix your heating system on your car. This particular car is a Toyota Corolla Verso, and the problem that we've got is we've got no heat coming from the vehicle. And the way that most of these modern vehicles work is they'll have a blend door, and the blend door motor could have failed, or the mechanism could be jammed, or you could just not be getting enough heat. So the basic things to do are just to check the coolant, and I'll just show you how to do that. So the coolant bottle is here, and as you can see it's got a pink fluid in it and the level is okay. The next thing you need to do is to check whether or not you've got hot water getting into the heater matrix. And on this car the heater matrix pipes are there and there. So basically, if the heater matrix was blocked, one pipe would be hot and the other would be cold. I've checked on this vehicle and the pipes were both warm, so we knew the heater matrix was working. So moving back into the car. So on this car, this is the blend door motor. It might be different on other vehicles, but the way to test to find out which one is the blend door is to turn the vehicle on and to actuate things like the recirculation vent, the control for where the air is directed, and for the heat. And through a process of elimination, this is the blend door. So it basically blends hot and cold air together, and it uses a actuator like this. And I've tested this one, and this one isn't moving, so I know that this is the fault with this particular vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and get this removed and then investigate why it might not be working. Right, so I'm just going to talk you through what I've done. Removed the blend door actuator from the car, and it's held together with some little clips like so. You just need to get a screwdriver underneath the clip and lift it off, and it splits into two. So that's the wheel that is driven by those wheels, and then moves this mechanism. So the motor just simply lifts out like so. And what I've done is it's a bit Heath Robinson, is made up a 9-volt battery with a couple of wires just held together with some masking tape, so it's easy to break down again. You could use insulation tape. On the back of the motor mechanism there tells you it's 12 volts. So a 9-volt battery should be enough to make this motor spin, albeit very slowly. So yeah, connected those two up to the contacts there, and the motor didn't want to turn. If I gave it a little bit of resistance, it would start running and then stop again, and the next time it wouldn't want to start again. I've also used a multimeter to see that these two pins here are the ones that are connected to those two there, and I tried refitting the motor back in and powering it up, but it's yeah, it's definitely not working. Also, when it does power up, it gets extremely hot, and the battery gets hot as well. So yes, pretty much a dead motor. So what the plan of action is these motors or actuators are super expensive, yeah, for what they are essentially. They seem to be around about sort of £150 for a simple motor. That is looking on eBay, of course. I haven't tried going to Toyota direct for that. However, you can get exactly the same part for a RAV4 for $14.99. So the difference will be this mechanism here coming out. Now, one or two things: I can dismantle that one and make sure the innards are all the same, and possibly just switch over this bit between the two. But probably the simplest thing is just literally just to pop it apart and take the motor out of the new one and test that, and that should get it going again. And rather than spending £150, it's worth a £15 gamble to try that motor. These don't seem to be particularly accessible on the internet. There is a part number on there, but it's it's not particularly, you can't find it. So yeah, best thing is £15, get the motor and switch it across, and I'll update you once I have got the new part or used part. A couple of days later, and we've got the new used actuator. As I said previously, the way to dismantle this is just to put a screwdriver down there to pry it off the hook, and then on the corners there just get another screwdriver in there just to sort of pry it open. And what we're going to plan to do is to get the motor out of this one and pop it into that one. So with both the cases stripped apart, we can see that the innards are very similar, but not the same. So this bit here is the same, but here and here is different, and the wheel has a lot more stops on it compared to this one. But the only bit we want from this is the motor, so we're going to pop that motor into this one. Before I move it across, I'm just going to do the test to make sure that the motor works. Not easy to do one-handed. As you can see, this motor is fully functional. So I've got the new old blend motor installed, and we can see now if I operate the heater control, it works. So that is now fixed. So thanks a lot for watching. If this does help you, if you could subscribe, like or comment, all of these things will help me to grow the channel.